Hi everyone, welcome back to the Trackless Train series here and a little update. The transformation has begun. It is starting to look different. I don't really know what I think about it. It looks like a big giant shed is being built on the back of a lawn tractor. Well, maybe that is actually what I'm doing. It looks, maybe the camera doesn't really do it justice. In person, this looks totally ridiculous. It looks way too big, but so be it. It has to be like that, and it is already I don't know when I put sides on, and I think I will make a little door and stuff. I have no idea how am I supposed to get into the seat because of I wanted it as low as possible, but still so that it's possible to sit in on the inside, and my head is almost against the roof. I plan on making, I try to make a nice curve. It's supposed to look a bit like a steam locomotive, right? So they had a curved roof, most of them. So yeah, the frame for the cab is underway. But before I go totally crazy, there's some things I want to follow up on. In the video before the one with the tires, I did a service on the thing. I totally forgot to change the fuel filter. Even though I had them in stock in my drawer, I forgot. So we will put a new fuel filter on as the first thing, and then we will see if it makes it run better. I doubt it, but then I know it got a fresh fuel filter as a part of a service. I changed the tires in the last video. I think it went really well. Where is it? The tire I kept from before, the old tire. I said that it was fine. It looked fine. It wasn't cracked. But then I mounted it again, and it got a crack. And I thought, oh shoot, well, it is an old used tire. But then, this is one of the brand new tires. I think it was this one. Where is it? Maybe not. Not this one? It wasn't a rear tire, was it? This one then. Now I cannot find it. Has it healed itself? Can't be. There. There was a bigger one somewhere. There. And also, yeah, there. This is a brand new tire that is cracked in the sidewall. And I don't know, leave a comment. My theory is that I was too aggressive with the brake clean and fire. So it's my own fault. I don't know. Leave a comment. And also, the oil change. I drained the old oil. I poured new oil in, but I was only able to put in half a liter. Well, a fellow YouTuber here from Denmark called Hobby Motor contacted me with a list where I could see all the oil capacities for all the different Briggs engines. And this engine is supposed to take just over 1 liter. So, as he suggested, either I didn't drain all the oil, or there's a lot of sludge in the engine. Therefore, it can only take half a liter of fresh oil. So before I enclose everything and make it really difficult for myself, I have to find a way to change the oil anyways, somehow. I think maybe I can do that later, but I think I want to do something so I get this routed down with some pipes or something, so it's possible to change it from underneath without having to remove all kinds of stuff. The only thing is then the oil fill. But one thing at a time. I'm gonna start by changing the fuel filter. and then start it up and run it till it gets really nice and hot, and then I'm gonna drain the oil again and see if I can extract some sludge. Ugh. So let's see what kind of a mess we can make here. I'm gonna clamp off the fuel from the tank. And what is the smart way to do it? There isn't any smart way. Away with the clamps. So if I take this off, can I get it into the cup below? How about like this? Okay. Nothing comes out of the filter. But I can see the fluid right there. Can you see it? Why isn't it coming out? It was blocked. Maybe a new fuel filter is a great idea, it turns out. If I can get it off the hose here. Possible? Can you hear it? It has glued itself to the filter. But now it's letting go now. There. Yeah, well, this looks like it's past its prime. Oh, there's also some sludge there. Yeah, well. A new filter can't hurt, right? So this is actually just like the one that was on before. It goes all the way at the top, but it's not going all the way at the bottom. Oh well. Ow. Come on. There. There. So I want to see fuel. Blop, 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 blop. What if I open the cap? Proof that the cap is now off because it fell on the floor. Nothing? Okay. Well, I want to run this thing anyways, so Can it start? Starts perfect. There we got fuel. That's more like it. But it is doing just like before. Oh well. But maybe not as much. It is so strange that that sound makes me happy. It's foolish. My whole construction there is just shaking from side to side. But it also, I need to put the plates on the sides so that it stiffens everything up a little bit. But that's later. For now, I want to warm up the engine really nice and hot, so the oil gets as thin as possible, and then I want to drain it and see if I can get any sludge out of it. So I raised the RPMs a little bit, and it is actually running a bit different. It is not surging as much, but it is still surging, as you can see. Yeah, I'm gonna live with it. Yeah, that's fine. So the frame has gotten hot to touch now, and the engine on this side is getting warm after some seconds. So and the air that is blowing across the engine is also hot when it exits. So let's shut her down and say that she is hot enough now, and then let's see if we can, what we can get out of this. Can I locate you here? I'm gonna try. So let's see what kind of a mess we can make now. Just gonna open up the oil fill, and yeah, the oil was fresh. It has only been running for these, I don't know, 15 minutes, something like that. So yeah, we'll see how the oil looks like when it comes out of the engine. The drain should be easy to open, because yeah, it is easier than the last time, but still it seems awful tight. So this is hot to the touch a little bit. I cut out a piece of my former funnel here, so maybe yeah, we'll see how much of a mess I will make this time. I think we're ready. If not, I will just have a lot of cleaning to do. There, we need to go there. In there, I think. Yeah, well, it is nice and thin, like I wanted, but also really dark for oil that has just been changed and has only ran for 15 minutes. Can I get anything in there to poke with? How about a screw? Well, I'm not getting any sludge out of the engine. Just oil. What Klaus from Hobby Motor suggested was that I didn't get all the old oil out. Makes sense, since if there was half a liter of old oil in the engine and I poured half a liter of fresh oil in the engine, then this color would come out. Makes sense. It's lighter and thinner than what came out in the first place. So maybe I'm just not getting all the oil out. Do I need to jack up the machine to get an angle on it so it can run out? Maybe that's the case. Maybe. We can try it, and if not, then I really don't know. Then I really don't know. But it came out faster than the last time. But it is still coming out a little bit. Well, in the meantime, this is the list I got from Klaus at Hobby Motor with the different Briggs engines. And if I scroll down and get to this engine, it looks very similar. It says 8 horsepower, and it is supposed to take 36 ounces or 1.06 liters. And as I said, I only poured in half a liter. And there is no engine that only takes half a liter. Then we're down at the really small sprint engines and stuff, but that's not what we got here. This is a double the size engine, so it should take more oil than that. So I have just tried poking with the wire, and I think I grabbed a hold of the governor inside. I hope I didn't disturb anything. I cannot get any sludge out by poking at it, so I'm gonna try to jack up the front here to tilt the engine a little bit and see if any more stuff come out. We'll see. So now we got something. Oil is running out again because I have jacked up the machine so it is tilting. The rear wheel is, I'd say, 4 inches above the table, and this front wheel is still on the table, but so I cannot do any better than this. So I'm gonna let it drain, and in the meantime I'm gonna think of a plan, because I have cut out some pieces of plywood that is supposed to be the base of the cabin, the cab. So I'm gonna think a little bit about how I'm gonna do this, and I think I'm gonna do a time lapse. It would be interesting, I hope, for you to see the transformation, but also a bit boring because I have no battle plan. So I think I'm gonna put up the camera over here and make a time lapse or something. Yeah, I think. So this is how the oil came out. A lot thinner, but also a bit black. Which makes sense, since maybe I didn't get... Which makes sense because maybe I didn't, like Klaus said, get all the oil out. I don't think there's not a liter here. Yeah, I really don't know. I really don't know. I'm gonna put in some fresh stuff to the full mark, and if it isn't 1 liter, I don't know what to do, because I have poked at it with screws and wires and stuff, and I didn't get anything out. Not at all. So, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna pour in some fresh stuff, and if it is any different, then I will let you know. Okay, so I'm in the process of filling up the oil again. I just filled up my jug again. There was just under half a liter in the jug before, and now we are just below a quarter liter. So I put in 3/4 of a liter, and now I'm at the point where if I just put the dipstick in without screwing it in, maybe you can see it, maybe you cannot. Actually, now it's at the minimum mark. Yeah, now it's at the minimum mark, but if I screw it in and take it out again, then it reads full. So what is the right thing? Is it like a Honda, where you just put it in loose without screwing it in? Because then it would make sense. I think it could take a quarter liter more. Then we would be at 1 liter. But if I screw it in, then it reads full. What to do? Leave a comment. I poured in some more oil, and I went with the halfway option, where if I just stick it in without screwing, sorry, if I just put, thank you for that picture, Kenny. Let's try one more time. If I just check the oil without screwing the cap in, it reads full, but if I put it in and screw it shut, then it's a bit over full. That's the route I decided to go. Leave a comment, is it right or wrong? I can always add more or drain it again. I don't think it's going to have a lot of runtime until this video airs, but in the meantime it will be fine. It's no bricks, it would chew on anything. So now I can start building the cabin. That'll be great. So this is more or less how it is going to look. It's a bit hard to record in here because I don't have a lot of room, so it will be better when it gets outside, once it gets outside. But well, this is my concept, more or less. The whole construction was a bit sketchy and flimsy, but that is because it is only held in by those pieces of wood there that is screwed to the tractor, and yeah, the leverage of the length of the thing means that, well, it is actually still a bit. No, actually, it's the whole tractor that is moving now. That's good. That's good. So this piece alone stiffened up the construction a whole lot. So this is how it's going to be. I'll bring you back. It just takes too long to record everything all the time. But yeah, I'm gonna close it in at that level all the way around, and then I will have to figure out a way to get in. So yeah, I'm just gonna take my time and close it off and make it all nice as possible anyways. Well, it is starting to take shape. It looks more like a bus, but well, I hope to change that. Well, this is this is how it turned out as of right now. There's a few imperfections, but it's okay. It's just it's home built, right? It isn't commercially built. Well, and I'm not sure anybody will ever notice unless I tell you, and I'm not afraid to tell you. I don't know what the deal is, but something on the tractor is out of whack. Because here at the back I have a cross member that is tucked all against the ass end of the tractor in here, and all the way up against the fender on both sides, and bolted to the tractor, nut and bolt. But this edge here is just shy of, I think, 5 millimeters past that bar, that cross member. It is located right here, and we got this much overhang. This is, by the way, so that this back plate could have a straight edge. But on the other side, yeah, you can probably tell just by looking at it. Again, this fender, is it a fender? It is 5 millimeters below the cross member, but here we got quite a lot more, and this is the same measurement here and in this end as in the other end. So something in the back end of the tractor is out of whack. And also I'm gonna have to get creative here, because the front wheel on the drinker side is much closer to the cab than on the other side. So when I turn the wheel, or what? Now it looks awfully close here also. Yeah, actually it is touching here also, but a lot more. It is touching a lot more on the other side. There's actually a rub mark there already, and I haven't even drove. And it hasn't even been driving yet. So I might have to notch out here. No big deal. There will also be some kind of a fender here going out like this somehow. Not sure yet how that is going to be. And I'm starting to close all my points in. All my important points where I need to get to, but I'll have to figure something out as I'm going along. So I'm gonna have to notch out there, and I also had to notch out here for the control rod for the steering. But that's okay now. Yeah, and I imagined that it would be a bit cramped in here, but actually I think it's okay. Can I get in somehow? I don't know. 1 minute. I mean, I cannot even get the angle, but everything is all right. There's these wires here that are, I don't know, they'll go there for now. I can operate the brake and it doesn't hit the wall that much. I think it's hitting at the bend down there. I think it's just touching, but I was imagining that I would be cramped like this, but actually not at all. And at the back here, I'm not up against the back wall here, and I can shift the gears, which was also a concern. That's fine. And I can get to the gas cap quite easily. This big area makes a really big, nice space for... I'm not quite sure how far I'm gonna go with a build like this, but it could be very cool, I think, to have a working stereo with a couple of speakers and some control buttons for maybe some extra lights, and maybe a truck horn that plays a melody or something, but that's way out in the distance, and I'm not even sure if that is going to happen. But here there is a lot of room for things like that. So the next thing is just, I can also do something when I get the roof built. If I get the curve that I want, then there will be room above the above the front window here to mount all kinds of stuff. Maybe up here a radio will be nice. Like in a truck, some trucks it is above the windshield. Yeah. Now I have to find out how to get out again. A door would be very nice. So yeah. A door would be very nice, but I think for right now I'm gonna take a break from this, because I also have some customer machines that I need to get tested. So let's take a break and continue with this idiotic thing later. How do I get out? So the customer machines, it didn't really work out. So I was done with those things, actually those two chainsaws. They don't run at the moment, so I'm gonna have to look at those. But it gave me time to work a little bit more on my little train here. And now I have a door. Ain't that something? It makes it a hell of a lot easier to get in and out. So I just put in a post there, and I bought some hinges and what else? Yeah, I also bought some paint and stuff, because that is some of the next things that is going to happen. I think in this video I'm gonna build the roof, and then that will be it for this video. And in the next video the cap will be painted, I hope, and then I have time to come up with a plan to make the nose. I got a barrel that is going to be the nose of the train, and I think I got some wood to make fenders and to close off the engine and stuff. But I have to think that through. But in this video I would love to finish the roof and say goodbye to you people, and then in the next video the thing will be painted black, because it is a choo-choo train, right? Well, the door. I actually have, just for proof of concept, I just jammed 6 screws right through this thin plate, so they were sticking through quite a bit. And also all the panels is from one sheet of plywood, and that was standing like this. It was so crooked, and I thought it would be like that when I cut out the door. Then it would go, everything would be out of line. But it wasn't too bad, but it had a little bit down here, and it still has a little bit. So what I did was I found what I had laying around of scrap pieces of, I think they are from, also put a lock down here. Oh, those freaking wires are so annoying. There we go. That's a lot easier to get in now. So yeah, to make it look better on the outside, I had to make those on the inside of the door jamb, and also some reinforcement here, and to hide the screws. and to straighten out the panel a bit here. It isn't straight anyways, but it's better. So now, yeah, it was looking like this when I was finished cutting out for the door. So my solution to fix that was to put the door latch down here, so that it tucks the door in, and also for safety reasons. I don't really know how this is going to end, but let's say I'm out at a birthday party, driving around with people's kids or something. I don't want anybody to be able to just reach in while I'm driving along or anything and just open the door. Maybe I'm just paranoid, and that's fine, but that's why that's the second reason why it is located down there. So let me just get a crack on with the roof, so we can say goodbye and see you next time when the thing is painted. Da, da, da. It now has a roof on it also, which actually turned out pretty nice. I had to make some modifications to the back, because I knew from the get-go that you can actually, maybe you could actually tell. I knew from the get-go that the cab was wider at the rear than at the front. And that sheet of plywood I bought for the roof, that is the size that it is. 80 centimeters by 120, and here at the front that fits really nice. We got a overhang of 2 centimeters on each side, and the cab is 116, and the plywood is 120. You can actually see something here. Doesn't matter. So that gave me an overhang of 2 centimeters in each end. But the cab was, what was it, 78 centimeters wide at the rear here. That curve is roughly 80 centimeters, was roughly 80 centimeters. So that looked really stupid. I had 2 centimeters of overhang at the front, but nothing here at the back. So I had to be a bit creative and squeeze in the top a little bit by loosening the screws here at the top and just squeeze it in. So that I got something that looks quite sort of the same all the way down the side. I was thinking about putting a third piece of wood in there, but I actually think that it is more than stiff enough. It doesn't matter, it got some flex. What I really need is headroom in there. I don't really know. Have I showed you? I haven't even seen it myself, how it looks when the dumbass who built it is in the captain's chair in there. So, and also, how does it look? I also want to show you how graceful it looks when I get in. Sarcasm. So, yeah. Let's see. I reckon it takes a bit of practice, and it isn't easier by the fact that it is standing on the table also still. So there's 20 centimeters more height that I need to reach in over. But here we go. I think it is something like you put your left foot in first, and then you're in. Close the door. It also takes a bit of practice because of the because the door is wanting to flip out. It is flipping out the door. So am I. So, actually, this isn't too bad. Nice room in here. A lot of room for accessories, I guess. So, yeah, I guess this is it for this video. If you have been watching, thank you very much. Please subscribe and thumbs up and all that. You are used to all that. So you won't miss out on the future videos. I think the next video will start with a test drive, because I need to see if I can turn the wheels without rubbing and stuff before I paint this thing. And then when the cab is painted, then I have to come up with a plan to build the nose with that drum and some enclosement for the engine. But that's my headache until we see you the next time. So how do you get out? The opposite of getting in. Just takes a bit of practice. Well, thank you for watching. See you next time.